This is Trend Following Radio, where great thinking comes alive. Nobel Prize winners, legendary traders, best-selling authors, and the pros that know what drive us irrational human beings. I am your host, Michael Covel. Not filtered, raw, honest. That's my passion.
Episode 955. I did a little podcast called Price is It, because I've been seeing a lot of emails from people and they're confused. They're confused about trend following and they're confusing it with every other thing under the sun. And I tried my level-headed best in episode 955. I tried my level-headed best to say, price is it. I tried like hell. And I got a lot of feedback. People are writing me. Most people seem to get it. They seem to get what I'm saying, that price is the variable upon which you make your trading decisions. But not everyone gets it. They think they get it. And they write me to collaborate, to share, to tell me about their experience. But invariably, they don't seem to understand price is it at all. For example, I get an email from a very nice guy. He seems to be in the financial industry, an advisor of some sort in a Tony's section of Florida where people have plenty of wealth. And he says, Michael, good work. I listened to your last podcast, What the Price, and what I see and have found looking back is trends that are rising and falling within channels. He asks me a question. Is that action still a trend? He asks me another question. Is a swing a trend, not a traditional one? Examples, and rattles off several futures contracts like copper, etc. Let's tear it apart. There's a lot of confusion in there. I'm not picking on this person at all. Probably very smart, could be super wealthy for all I know. I have no earthly idea. But he says, what I see and have found looking back is trends are rising and falling within channels. What does that mean? What can I do with that? Trends are rising and falling. There's no specificity there. Now, maybe there is specificity in his world, but to tell me that trends are rising and falling in channels, this is confusing. Why is this needed? Why not just say, the market is moving up, I will take a long position. If the market then comes down and hits my stop, I will get out. If the market turns around and goes back up and hits my entry again, I will get back in. If the market comes back down and hits my stop, I will get out. If the market turns around and jumps back up again, I will go long again. If it comes down and hits my stop, I will get out again. You can see what I'm describing. I'm describing Ed Secoda's Whipsaw song. For those of you that have not seen that, please go to YouTube right now and watch Ed Secoda's Whipsaw song. So with my friend here that writes me, not Ed is my friend, or I like to think of Ed as my friend too. He said some very nice things about my work, and I've enjoyed all my time that I've spent with Mr. Ed Secoda. But my friend that writes me is talking about trends that are rising and falling in a channel. Now, you see what he's doing there? He's predicting. He's trying to predict something. He sees a market moving up and down within some channel that he has defined. I don't know what that is. But the idea is he can use that information to predict the next whatever. That's not trend following. That's just not trend following. Because what happens when the channel, whatever the channel is broached? That you break through the channel. Let's say you break through the channel to the upside. What happens to your channel rules then? Your up and down rules. It kind of falls apart. It's not trend following. It's some form of traditional technical analysis, otherwise known as traditional bullshit. Yeah, all the typical technical analysis books are 100% bullshit. This pattern, this formation, etc. will predict this, will predict that. Now, if you want to use some technical indicator to say, I will enter on some momentum strength, fair enough. But the moment you start telling me that your technical indicator is predicting the direction or is predicting the duration of the direction, you're full of shit. The indicator's full of shit. That's not real, except for technical analysis books, which have been written for 100 plus years to fill the brains of all kinds of investors and traders with absolute nonsense. W.D. Gann. Have you ever thumbed through and tried to read anything from W.D. Gann? Give me a break. But people love this shit because it's like the secret decoder ring, the secret to the pyramids. Yeah. Okay, I can turn on YouTube and I can watch the secret alien stuff. And it's kind of entertaining. It's kind of crazy. There's no golden mean that you're using for your trading. Again, it's all prediction. Fine, use some of these things, as I just said, as your indicator for entry. But they don't predict a damn thing. Stop that. You've been sold a bunch of bullshit. If you think you can buy some book of technical analysis indicators that purport to tell you, when to enter and when to exit and how far the quote trend is going to go, how far it's going to go, you've been sold. Sold up the river, my friend. Now back to this guy's email. He says in the second part of his email, is a swing a trend? Now this gets back to what he said about trends in a rising and falling channel. So he compounds that thought with, is a swing a trend? What the fuck does that mean? Now I am not being an arrogant jerk. I'm not being mean. I'm not picking on this guy. I'm not picking on anybody. But I want people to think critically. If you send me an email and it simply says, is a swing a trend? That doesn't mean anything. If you don't define the word swing and you don't define the word trend, you're just connecting random words together that don't mean fucking anything. And if random words together don't mean fucking anything, how in the hell can you take your hard-earned money and bet on something that doesn't mean anything? I mean, if you're going to code a trend-following system, you've got to write something into computer code to tell the machine, the computer, how to work. Do this when this happens. Okay, how do you code is a swing a trend? How do you code a swing? How do you code a trend? Well, you need a rule. You need some numbers. I mean, seriously. You've got to write that into code. If you can't write your rules into code, it's bullshit. Oh, sure. We can all find the books about the wonderful discretionary trader that made $10 billion. That's what the lore is. That's what the story is. And maybe back in the day that happened. But that's not how it works. If you're going to keep track of entries and exits and your position sizing and the various markets that you're tracking, that has to be quantified. Like spreadsheet stuff. Back in the day, how the hell do you think trend followers did it all? With a freaking spreadsheet. Lotus 123 Excel? Yeah, that's why I keep saying price is it. You don't plug a fucking chart into Excel. You plug fucking numbers into Excel. Because numbers are what you trade. You don't trade charts. If you think you're trading charts, I know what's coming next. Because if you're trading charts, the next thing you're going to tell me is prediction. Now back to my friend here. Is a swing a trend? I got no idea what to do with that. Is a swing a trend a question to me? Can't get an answer. Because my response has to be another question. I have to find out what the hell the question even means. Otherwise, I'm guessing, I'm assuming, which is what he's doing with his question. guessing, assuming. I don't know what a fucking swing is. I don't know what a fucking trend is. I mean, I know what a trend is when it's over. If a market goes from 100 to 500, we can say that was a trend. It's quantifiable. You know, I've seen in my career all kinds of trend following evidence, like a ton. Some of the world's greatest traders. What I've not seen are the world's greatest swing traders. So you have all these professionals out there, world-class names, famous, legendary, trend-following traders. Where, pray tell, are the famous, world-class, long list of swing traders? I've never seen it. Someone send me the disclosure documents, the performance disclosure documents on file with the government or the CFTC or whoever. Send me that. I want to see. I'll keep an open mind. Maybe there's a whole army of swing traders out there that I don't know about. Now, experience tells me there's probably not. That what there is an army of people talking about swing trading, but not really doing it. Because I don't really think it means anything. It's probably going to mean something different to every person. But this is the foundation of so many trading strategies. Lore, good feelings, emotions, kind of almost like a conspiracy theory mindset. You know, somebody sees one article, one video on Elliott Wave. The next thing you know, their whole world is governed by the secret Elliott waves that will tell them when to buy and when to sell. Now, let me do a disclaimer here. Again, I'm not trying to pick on anybody. I want everybody to do well. I'm not all that. I'm just one guy giving a perspective. But my perspective is grounded in something that makes a lot of sense. Something that you can code, something that you can write up and put in a spreadsheet and test. If you can't do that with your strategy, I'm not saying 100% your strategy is bullshit. Just 99% chance that it's bullshit. Now, somebody else writes me about that particular podcast as well and says to me, did technical analysis back when it was paper and colored pencils. Never worked. Tried to trade gold, had perfect back-tested system. Daily high-low close of gold data since the 70s cost me. Never worked. Today I'm so afraid of loss, I never bet more than $250 on anything. That way, as soon as I buy something, I can say to myself, you just lost $250. Then I just wait and see. You have no idea how many stocks I own. Way more than I can keep track of. Well, that's an interesting piece of feedback, an interesting email. Technical analysis back when it was paper and colored pencils. He says it didn't work. I can guess why. It was probably just all bullshit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with writing out a chart to look at it visually if you need to. But if he was using paper and colored pencils and talking about technical analysis, what was he doing? Attempting to use all the traditional technical analysis bullshit that comes in so many books to predict something. He honestly says it never worked, and I'm honestly not surprised. He then says he tried to trade gold, one market. How do you trade one market as a trend following trader? You can't trade one market alone as a trend following trader. Because at the beginning of any year, you don't know which market is going to take off. If you're only trading gold, you're limiting yourself to only gold. If gold doesn't do anything, you don't make any money or you lose money. Am I surprised that his gold example didn't work? No, but at least he's honest. He says it never worked. So here, right in this example with this email, you can see clearly somebody wants to reach out to me. They want to share. I love that. Again, I'm not picking on him, but he's not seeing this. His experience is wasted time on bullshit technical analysis. His other experience is wasted time on trying to trade one market alone. That doesn't work. Now he goes on to say that he only bets $250 per trade, no matter what. A fixed bet size, no matter what. That doesn't make any sense. Now, that's more of a psychology issue, isn't it? He's afraid, but because he's afraid, he makes up an irrational rule only grounded in his own personal emotion, his own personal psychology, and that becomes his trading system. I'm not surprised that doesn't work either. And finally, he says that I have no idea how many stocks he owns, way more than he can keep track of. Well, apparently the trading system he's talking about with the traditional predictive technical analysis bullshit and trading one market alone through a system and a bet size of never betting more than $250. Alongside that, he apparently has a buy and hold stock portfolio that just does its own thing on autopilot, and he has no idea what's going on with it. I've already given enough disclaimers. I can't keep disclaiming myself to say that I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I love these emails. If you're confused, if you're not sure, you're welcome to send me an email. I might read it here. I might rip you apart. But hopefully you'll learn something. You'll learn the right way to think. Because what you really need is a critical thinking toolkit in front of you, right? If you have this critical thinking toolkit in front of you, you can analyze the markets, you can analyze yourself. Now, you still might not want to play the game once you do that analysis. Maybe you decide it's not for you, but at least you can do a proper analysis. At least you can do a proper thinking, and you can let go of some of the secret alien conspiracy, technical analysis, mumbo jumbo, Sphinx pyramids, Giza bullshit that too many people seem to use for their decision making. That's what I hope for, some clear thinking. Now, one more side tangent on this episode. I had a guest on recently, Sidal Neely, a business professor at Harvard, and we were talking about the remote work revolution. You might have even seen the title of that podcast. Maybe you did not listen. That's fine. I don't expect you to listen to all of my stuff. Maybe that title did not really grab you. It did not cause you to listen. Here's why you should listen. Because Sidal and I are talking about a subject that we both have a similar mindset on. But you can tell in that conversation, perhaps, that our political and economic views are different. And the reason I bring this up is because you don't often hear the type of conversation that we had in the modern age. The modern age is all about bloodthirsty political point scoring. We might have had some political differences, but we both put them out there on the table in a way that could be understood. And then it's up to you, Mr. and Mrs. Listener, to decide, what do you like? What do you want? What's more real to you? What's more true to you? I bring that up because a young college student wrote me and said that he disagreed with the Harvard professor because the Harvard professor had said so many students come to Harvard with these ambitious life goals of finding meaning, etc. And I kind of challenged her in the episode. This was episode 956 for those paying attention at home. But this young college student that wrote me an email was like, hey, I agree with your perspective, Mike, that maybe that's not exactly why people are going to school. And this young person said to me, it's not the reason I'm at school. I'm at school for something more concrete. Take a listen of that chat with Sidal Neely and see what you think. I would love your feedback on that. But back to the top as I stay focused on price data. Remember, the three best indicators for a trend following system are price, price, and price. And if you don't understand that yet, send me an email. I'll keep talking about it. I will beat you over the head with a damn hammer until you understand it. It's my mission. Somehow or another, I will get people past all of this traditional technical analysis, golden mean, secret number, Elliott wave, Gann bullshit that is so everywhere. Because, hey, I want you to do well. And if you're doing all that kind of nonsense stuff, you're not doing well. That much I know.
I see a time when those awake will understand how to make money in up, down, and surprise markets. Whether new trader or experienced, college student or financial advisor, protecting against a crash or just trying to make a lot of money, trend following offers everyone an answer in uncertain times. To get started immediately, send me an email, michael@covel.com. I will send you the right trend following steps to take along with my free video. But if you want to buy and hold, trust the government and trust Wall Street, this is absolutely not for you.